Prof, the demands that were made by organized labor, some say they were not demands that were likely to be met with dispatch within the period that they demanded. For example, they asked for an immediate declaration of state of emergency in line with the provisions of 1992 Constitution, Article 31 and 31(4). The declaration must incorporate the following. So they defined the spectrum of that particular declaration. Exactly. And it says, an order to halt all forms of mining, be it legal or illegal, in forest reserves and around water bodies. So this is where they wanted the state of emergency to actually cover. Then 2, an immediate evacuation of all mining equipment in forest reserves and around water bodies. And C, the deployment of the police and the military with full orders to remove or destroy all mining equipment and other earth-moving equipment around river bodies and in the forest. 2, the immediate revocation of LI 2462. And those who do not know this LI, this allows for mining in forest areas. Yes, anyway. And withdrawal of all licenses that have been granted for prospecting and mining in forest and protected reserves and also around water bodies. And they ask for the establishment of a special court to prosecute the perpetrators of the horrible crime. Were these attainable within the period that organized labor gave the president? In fact, this was a direct letter to the president, not even to the ministry or even cabinet or any other grouping, directly to the executive lead.
Very good question. Certainly, it would take a little time for the president to meet all the demands. But you know what? Wars break out when protagonists fail to reason. Okay? If people refuse to reason with each other, that's when war breaks out. So if they have brought these proposals or demands, as you put them, and there is some reasons why all of them cannot be effected right away, and engage each other, they will reason out. I, sitting here listening to these demands, I know some can be effected in a very short while. Others may have to take a little time. Because, for instance, if you are entered into agreement with somebody to mine, there are certain clauses in the contract that if you breach, you know what they call judgment debts and all. We know all that. So you can sort them out. But there are some that can be effected immediately. The idea of...
Their difficulty was that even in meetings with ministers, the ad hoc committee, there appeared to be very little commitment to do any of this.
Because that's why I mentioned the issue of leadership. If the leader of the country, because unfortunately in our country, it's a centralized system. Everything begins and ends with the president, which I'm vehemently opposed to. We need to decentralize. If I want to listen a bit to the previous discussions on the Chief Justice and the Attorney General fighting over, look, playing ball with the lives of people, all because what? We have a centralized system. Attorney General in Accra has to get a docket from the remotest place in this country to make determination before prosecutors in the district can do so. Why do you centralize power like that? Can't Galamsey criminals, wherever they are, can they be prosecuted in local magistrates? Why not? Is it not the same law? No. Why has the docket have to travel all the way to Accra for Attorney General to say, yes, go on and prosecute? That is part of the problem. Everything is centralized. That's why we don't move as a nation. So in this case, I'm saying that some of the demands could be met. Others may be not. But the first one about declaration of a state of emergency, yes, it's in the Constitution, but the implications of that declaration is too much for now, because that will mean that certain measures will have to be taken, including curfews and all, which may prevent innocent citizens from going about their business.
Even in the targeted areas?
How do you target a small area as once it's a declaration of emergency, it has to go to Parliament, okay? But I'm told by my military friends that that's what they call declaration of security zones. That one is an executive decision in consultation with the national security. If that is made, the soldiers can immediately move to those areas and secure them.
Okay.
Security zone. So you don't need to go through all the problems of declaring a state of emergency.